feel it in my bones, you're about to move. I feel it in the wind, you're about to ride in. You said that you would pour your spirit out. You said that you would fall on sons and daughters. So come. I feel it in my bones, you're about to move. I feel it in the wind, you're about to ride in. You said that you would pour your spirit out. You said that you would fall on sons and daughters. So like the rain, come drench us in love. Let your glory rush in like a flood. 'Cause we are fixed on this one thing, to know your goodness, to see your glory, and we're transformed by this one thing, to know your presence, to see your beauty. I can see it now, your kingdom come. I can hear it now, the sounds of heaven. You said that if we ask, we'll receive. So we are asking for the greater measure. So like the rain, come drench us in love. Let your power rush in like a flood. 'Cause we are fixed on this one thing, to know your goodness, to see your glory, and we're transformed by this one thing, to know your presence, to see your beauty. So come and blow on through, Spirit move. We're ready for you to come and blow on through. Come and do what only you can do. So come and blow on through, Spirit move. We're ready for you to come and blow on through. Come and do what only you can do. 'Cause we are fixed on this one thing, to know your goodness, to see your glory, and we're transformed by this one thing, to know your presence, to see your beauty.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Family Life Heart Talk, another session that we are always having interesting topics to share with our viewers. And can you believe it? We are in session 8. And we want to thank you for those who are sharing all this watch live on Facebook right now. And if you have any questions or any comments or anything that you'd like to share during this time, please do put it into the comment box in Family Live Facebook or FGA Facebook. So we have a really interesting topic today where we're going to talk more about children with special need. So is it fair? My child needs special care. Yes, it's always about the children, but what about the parents? And what about the educators who play such big role in taking care of our special need children? So in today's session, we have a very interesting panelists with us, and I would like to just give a brief intro um, to those who are with us today, our dear panelists. So we have Stanley Saw. Hi, Stanley. Thank
Hi.
you for making time. Okay, he's a self-employed. He's self-employed, parents to two daughters and a special needs son. His name is Benedict. And he does voluntary work for charitable events, and he enjoys playing music and singing. Wow, that's nice.
Yes.
Welcome once again.
Right.
And all the way down under, hi Esther. We have Esther Gold. She's a mother of 4 adult children and a grandmother of 3. She teaches in a special school for special needs children in Australia, Adelaide. Right? Welcome, Esther. And of course, we always have our regular Dr. Yo Pei Lee. She's a licensed counselor with the Malaysia's Board of Counselors since 2003. She specializes in couple and family counseling, trauma work, and career guidance and counseling. Welcome, Dr. Pei Lee, and good afternoon to all our panelists. Thank you so much for making time. So I'm just going to go straight into the questions which I want to put it on to Stanley. Stanley, would you just like to share with us what was the initial feeling when you found out that Benedict was a special need child? How did the family and you take it? And you just have to share the experience with us.
Right. Thank you. Just a brief introduction about myself. I'm from Penang and I moved to KL at a very young age. And I started my career here in Kuala Lumpur and got married here. And I have 2 daughters, 2 grown-up daughters, and one special needs son, Benedict. He's 10 years old now. Back to the question is that when do I first discover Benedict had this condition of autism? This is one of the spectrum that was accessed when he was 2.5 years old, when the pediatric doctor was asking me whether my son has 10 words. Obviously, it's quite a shock that at that time uh, that he doesn't have many words, and thus going to the assessment, I later came to find out that he really needs attention because he doesn't score a lot of points during the assessment. So I needed help, and I had to break the news to my family and mostly my siblings at this time. That of course some were taken aback, and uh, but I have very strong support from my family. They're very concerned about where this direction is going to go. So that is one big support there. And the other thing is I need help. So when I had to be very sincere about this, because uh, I don't even know what to do at that point. It's like point blank, and I was referred to more organization like NGO, like Malaysian Care. Uh, so I will log into the internet to find out more as a parent who absolutely have no idea what special needs is all about. It's not easy. It's all about fact finding. It's about we ourselves wanting to care for a child in a way that we know, but we do not have the knowledge, but we can source for help. Thus, participating, joining the parent support group, like what FGA has to offer, is a very good platform for me to help my child.
Mm. And that's really good that you found yourself a support group, because it's not I think, like you said, initially it was not easy for you to actually find the type of information that you needed to help you in this journey with together with your spouse and the whole family with Benedict. And of course it definitely threw you off guard, right? I mean, to think that, all right, I have my son, I think he's normal and all that, but now that he's been diagnosed with autism, and I believe that it would have definitely threw you off guard of what you had plans for your children, or your son especially. How did you feel? Was that a difficult thing for you, because you had to change your plans about how you're going to bring up Benedict, and how you're going to journey with him at the same time?
Yes. Well, I left my career. I told my wife that he needs time. I need time to carry him to the therapist. Uh, there are more and more what they call follow up that need to be done for the development doctors. Um, Actually, I left my job, so I become a full-time caregiver because I can drive better. I can drive my car better. All right. So that adjustment is important because uh, we have to adjust to the new schedule, which you may have to forfeit some of your interests, and you
Yes.
have to increase uh, your child's schedule to commit, to really commit and fulfill the obligation for his progress and development. This is the difficult part, because I think not many parents between husband and wife, I knew for many, not really to give up an income to shoulder that responsibility. But
Yes.
we have that understanding. So my wife work, and I'm doing the caregiving.
But that is is a very big sacrifice, and I believe that there are many fathers who would love to do what you do, to be able to just leave the job and care for their child, especially
Yeah.
the most severe special need, to be caring for them throughout the whole time. And during that time, did you find that the support group, there was enough like male guys, I mean, and fathers who were also going the same journey with you, or was it mostly the women, the mothers, are the one doing more of the caregiving for the children? So maybe you can just share a bit on that.
Oh yeah, this is so true.
Yeah.
That in my 7 years of acquaintance with parent support group through the small
Mm.
talk
Yeah.
gatherings event,
Mm.
uh, I must say that the male figure for parents, especially fathers figure, uh, actually is not convincing when come to participants
Yeah.
participating or attending events, or even some father don't participate much. I understand that because the guys probably would have to go to work. They don't have that much time to accompany their child, or something like that. So, um, but nevertheless, I also see the improvement when there's family day, appreciation day, and also when there is a small talk organized
Mm.
by parent support group. I can see a lot of parents do attend, but that's a good sign
Mm.
that
Yeah.
more and more fathers are willing to come and see what's going on and learn something for themselves and take home some notes to really help their children. Yeah.
Yeah. Because children will always see their fathers as the first men that they will always look up to, right? And they would try to emulate whatever the father has and show to the family to do their best to be like their father. Right? I can understand your sentiment on this, Stanley. My child is dyslexic when he was very young age, and my husband spent 6 months of his mornings to be with him. And until today, he's 19 years old, and they have a very special bond. So that's a testimony to it, and I really applaud you, and you're doing a great job out of it. And I just want to encourage some of viewers who are fathers to special need children. Don't be discouraged. There's always a support group. Get yourself part of it, and be connected so that we can help each other to walk this journey together. I would like to put in the next question to Dr. Bailey. What are the common issues do you encounter with when you come to counseling parents with special needs? Would you like to share with us something? Yes.
Yeah, I would really like to commend Stanley for being such an involved father, because
Yes.
many of the issues that I face with my parents who have special needs children are feeling very alone. Yeah, they feel very alone because their husband either is not involved or their husband refused to accept that this is
Yes.
the condition of their son. So therefore they feel sad, and this sense of loss of a partnership, because then it affects their marriage. There are a lot of
Yes.
resentment built up, and then guilt comes in because she would blame, mom would blame herself. Did I, take care of myself properly? That, perhaps something went wrong in the pregnancy. Therefore, my son is special. So there's lots of internal guilt and blame that goes through the mom. And then expecting to be a mom is a joyful thing. And then upon diagnosed that this is a special child, there's this sense of loss. And then the mom has to go through this grief that, my son is not going to be normal. My parent experience were not going to be normal than my other parents' friends, and that lead to fear and worries. Yeah, fear that, will my son ever, or will my child ever survive on their own when I'm not around anymore? And a lot of worries. Have I been doing enough for them? Do we even have enough finance to upkeep their therapy, because they will need to go through a lot of therapy, just to make sure that they could, to build their life skills. Yeah. So lots of things that goes on, right?
Yeah, I think the biggest concern is always about what happens, who's going to care for my special need child if I'm no longer
Yes,
away. And I really agree what you say about the guilt that mothers especially, they feel like, oh, did did I not listen to somebody when I say don't do this? All these very superstitious things that they will
yes,
get to you, and it really eats up to that person. And it's really
yes,
great that as a counselor you tell you that you share with them that is that's not part of it. The journey is so much different. I think being with the special need children and encouraging them and giving the emotional support, I think that's the most important thing that any parent can give for them. And Esther,
yes.
how about your experience as an educator, right? How do you see parents who are coping with their special need children? What is your experience as an educator with your parents? Um, Esther, yeah, I can't hear you. Okay, yeah. Hi, Esther. Yeah, can't hear you. It's okay. Yeah, Peli, maybe while Esther is trying to get her volume corrected, yeah. Have you come across any yeah, okay, Paley,
Yes.
I would like to ask, yeah, I would like to ask you since as Esther is trying to get her volume corrected, um,
Mm.
as a counselor, how do you find that parents who are at home, have they ever come to you and say that what my children is going through in school, I've learned what the educator has been teaching me, but I can't seem to cope with it when I get back home. Is it because that they put too much of pressure on themselves, that they cannot try to fulfill, they try
Mm.
their best? I think pressure, is it? Maybe you can share if there's any experience that you've gone through.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
Esther.
Uh, yes.
Sorry,
Do, so do you want
Esther,
me
can
to?
you
Yeah,
now?
I can
Yeah,
just share a bit of what the question was all about. Like,
yeah, yeah.
parents will come up and say, "Oh, I need your help. I'm not coping well with my kids at home." So basically, as a teacher, I always believe that the parents and the teacher needs to work together hand in hand. Like parents coming to school, they can tell me, "Oh, my son, can't even go to the toilet independently, basically. Oh, he just wee anywhere." And I'm like, okay, or he's still in nappy. Okay, basically talking about that. So how do we work alongside with parents to support the parents to make sure that this same thing is happening at home, that at the end of the day, the child will be able to, be toilet trained. So I think working hand in hand together with the teacher, whatever that is done at school, that can be transferred to the home setting. So that is how, as a parent, you can see achievement at the end of the day. And besides that, I would tell the parents, you are not on this journey alone. There are so many parents out there who are, who have special child. They also have the same experience. So why not join one of the parent support group or the community support group, or identify those parents, those families who are going through the same situation, and you can just catch up with each other and share your experiences, share your problem, and that's how you get ideas on how to help your child. That's under, where you have your friends to support, your community to support, and as FGA has got a parent support group, I think that's really great, where you invite speakers, you invite parents to share their experience. I think that is a great support. Besides that, I can even tell the parents, all right, I can recommend you to other agencies like physiotherapists or occupational therapists, or even speech therapists, depending on the level of the child's disability. See? Or even to recommend, oh, I think maybe you need help in this area. Then parents, talk to us, and we indirectly try to support them by redirecting them, by helping them, by working alongside with them.
And I believe, Esther, many times maybe some parents would have come to you like, oh no, Esther, why is it when you teach me here in school, the children is fine, they listen. But when I try to replicate back home, they're going crazy and they find that it's difficult, and they keep, is it me? Is it the house? So how do you encourage parents who are going through this journey?
I think there are lots of expectation from the parents. So that is why the parental expectation and the teacher's expectation, again, is different. So at school, we set our goals, but at the same time, we work out those goals with the parents. We sit down together at the beginning of the year, and then we talk about our goals. What are you looking at? And I always believe that in able to achieve your goal, always start from the bottom, depending on your child's ability. If your child, for example, if your child can't even walk, you don't expect the child to run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So exactly, if the child can't even hold, if the child doesn't even have a pencil grip, a proper grip, how can you expect him to write his name? That is one of the things that I'm very concerned. Like, so basically, we just got to tell the parents, I think my goal for your child this year is probably to develop his fine motor skills so that he is able to hold his pen with the right pencil grip. And then the next thing is to trace, not write independently. So you go step by step. Instead of, all right, now you can hold your pencil. Can you write your name? D-A-N. No, the child just can't. So it all boils down to expectation and goals of the parents. So as a teacher, we work with the parents in such a manner that, all right, we do step by step. We have a short-term goal and a long-term goal. So you got to set your goal in such a manner. Some parents come to us and say, no, I just want this goal, okay? Make sure that my child wash his hands after toilet and before eating. Just these two goals. And some kids will go to the toilet and they come back without washing their hands. So, so this is a very simple goal, life skill. I call it the life skills here. And this is my health goal for my students. And once it's achieved, I said, all right. And how it is achieved? Because some kids, you need to hold your hand and then turn on the tap, and then this is physical support. And then the next thing is, all right, if you can do it physically on your own, that is independent. But you can't expect a child, well, wash your hands.
Exactly, yeah.
So the support, the level of hierarchy. So the support that you give can be from the lowest, from physical, and then partial physical, or just verbal, and then visual, pointing, gesture, and to independent. You work from the bottom to the top. And I think this kind of expectations got to be followed through with the parents. And that's why as a parent, if you don't follow, you jump into the top scale, you'll be frustrated. You'll be disappointed that, oh no, my child still can't do it. Why is he doing that at all? Why is he able to do that for you?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Dr. Petty wanted to say something.
Yes, I would like to add on, talking about expectation. I think a lot of times the parents put the expectation on themselves because it could be out of guilt. Therefore, they want to compensate, and they overcompensated by having this high expectation. And they wanted to see certain things achieved. And then subconsciously they tend to compare with another child, or even worse, if they I don't think it's accidentally, but they compare with their normal child, where the progress will be so different. So we really need to look at the child as an individual, and then as a parents to not let go of yourself. Meaning to say, do not let the circumstances let you to lose your identity. You need to be very comfortable with yourself, and then you parent your child based on what you are confident in, and based on what you think this is what the teacher said. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, right? And then just go back to the teacher and report. Probably we have to change a bit of strategies, or maybe we need to give the child a little bit more time. So don't lose ourselves. Don't get angry. Don't get frustrated. Because that will only eat into your own spirit.
Basically, don't beat yourself hard on expectations that you made, especially when you have a normal child, and then you go like, why Titi, why your Jeche can do this, but so sometimes, like what you said, they don't mean to say, but out of frustration, they may have just accidentally say, and we forget that these type of words, when they put it, will affect them emotionally, right? So I believe, I don't know, sometimes Esther, you feel like telling the parents, come on, you need a small session with the parents. You want to add on to that, Esther?
So you see, the problem is most of us as parents, we tend to compare. And I'm sure you have other kids. For those who have other kids, they are normal. Their developmental level is normal. So for you, your expectation is, okay, by this age, you should be able to do this. You should be able to feed yourself. So that's a lot of our expectation. We should stop comparing, and we should see that our special child is just different. God has given that child to us. We got to nurture the child in a different way, like how you nurture your normal child. Because he's special. He's a gift from God. And we as custodian, God give us this. Okay, let's do it slowly. And then hopefully, eventually, he will come out to be independent. That kind of thing. It's not like, oh, you expect the same milestone. This milestone is not achieved. Why? So it's very different.
So I'd like to hear from Stanley to You have to share with us. I mean, did you have any expectations in the initial stage of when Benedict was going through his series of therapy sessions and all that? You would like to share with us that if you have any. Yeah.
Yes. Honestly, as special needs parents, uh, one of the biggest challenge is that the way we carry ourselves, because we have seen both worlds. I have seen a normal child. I have seen a child with a certain limitation. So in this aspect, I have certain parameters that how would Benedict respond to his daily routine is also how we parents fashion after, so that they have a sense of routine whenever they are with us. Not to say that in the school environment they behave differently, but however, the routine at home, we do a setting that our children can follow. For example, for him, uh, washing of hands, going to toilet, are something that he would know how to do it, because at one time he doesn't know how to pee properly in the toilet bowl. So it takes a season for us to train him until that he's no longer peeing on the floor, but he was peeing at the right place. And that is itself is a very good example that things do work. So do not stress too much, especially parents, that we should not over stress that, oh, how this is so difficult, many times it doesn't work, and then uh, call it a failure. Uh, at this age, he's not doing this. So I do not want to pressure myself, but at least giving him the guidance, continue to do the routine until he become habitual, habitual to that routine, and that will be my expectation, rather than uh, having certain points that he must achieve. Then I said, that you won't be embarrassing me in front of people. Not that. I have certain. We work out something with the school. We have points that we, as parents, we want to achieve, and for him, between parents and the child, also we want him to achieve same at home. That will make me happier, uh, less stress for parents. Yeah.
And I think the expectation of not only just your family, but like you said, your extended family,
Yes.
is also needed to be guided and also to be educating them as well. That this is how we do it. We can follow up by helping him, by supporting him, by just showing him this type of gesture. I'm not sure, Stanley, whether is it that I've heard some parents like, no, we don't want to pamper the child, but he needs, if it's a wrong thing he did, there needs to be a punishment. So sometimes I wonder what type of punishment do you punish your
Uh,
Benedict
Thank you.
for anything?
Good question.
Maybe you can share.
It's so transparent that's why we go online to be truthful.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
okay, there must be a figure between mother and the father. The child know how to find the cushion. The child knows the mother is on the softer side. So my son go to the mother whenever he wants tender loving care, right? So when come to the father figure, I will often use a cane as a mark of that he know this cane will serve a purpose. And he fear me. He knows how to fear me because I have the authoritative voice. I told him to do this, he will obey. He will obey, he will do this. I ask him to sit down, he will sit down. So that gives a mark of response that he know how to follow instruction, not just to do things on his own, like without guidance like that, you know. So it's correct. We punish a child if he did obviously something very, very wrong from the normal routine, like he's going against it. But he doesn't do silly things now. Initially, he does like pour water, pour everywhere, right? But now he will pour to the class because we gave him a small tumbler, a simple jug for him to operate on his own. We just fill a portion of water for him, so he know how to fill the water from the jug to the cup. It doesn't matter how much water he pour, but at least he do it correctly. So it's from one milestone to another milestone. Putting on his own clothes, going to sleep. So all these are routine that he can do. So the lesser the punishment, the more mistake, right? Or the more the punishment, the less mistake. But either way improves. Yeah.
I think important is to see the type of improvement and that he understand the rotan and the non-rotan end.
Yes.
That's great. Dr. Peli, you wanted to say something? Yeah. Wanted to share something?
Yeah. So that was, yes, that was so good that there is discipline enforced. Yeah. Because what I also notice in many parents, because their child is special, whatever that happen between the siblings, the normal siblings are the one that have to give in to the special child. Yeah, and that create resentment among the normal sibling. All right. And then mom and dad will instill upon the normal sibling that, when they are gone, it is your responsibility to take care of your special sibling. Yeah, and that create a lot of burden, and responsibility on the normal child. And the normal child also, if when they are younger, they don't appreciate that kind of responsibility that is put on them. Yeah. So it's only later as they look back, they understand why the parents are doing that. Yeah. So don't neglect the normal siblings, the normal child that you have. Yeah. And be very mindful of the words. Yeah. Sometimes the expectation is not directly, but they caught on. Caught on that this is mom's and that expectation for me to take care of my special brother. Yeah.
I think it's very important that parents also speak to their children who are non-special, that how they feel about it, their emotions and all that. Stanley, you're saying you have two older daughters, right? And how does your two daughters, how's their relationship with Benedict? And
Yeah, actually both my two girls are in United Kingdom for their studies. But initially when they are back for holidays, they are connected with Benedict. However, it has never occurred that they has a certain reservation towards Benedict. They do play with him. They don't actually. My two girls don't have a problem with a special boy like that. But my part is that that Ben will grow up without me telling the two girls that, if I'm not here, please look after him. No, I will not say that. Uh, we give time for everything. We give time for ourselves. And it is now 10. We give the number of years as long as, because we live one day at a time. So let's do it one day at a time and see how Benedict will develop from day to day. Because it's very difficult to predict whether he can make it or he won't make it without giving him a sentence. Because even for parents, to be truthful, certain thoughts do run in my mind sometimes, not all the time. Or am I going to be in this? Is this my future, or is this my what my destiny? But thank God lah. Thank God that he has plans. He has plans for me. He has plans for Benedict. And it is through me and my wife that we are going to impart a lot of knowledge. Since I am unlearned as a student, even though I have a father figure for so many years, but when it comes to special needs, I am totally new. I have no idea. But since God put me in this position to discharge this duty of bringing up this child, then I would learn from the expert. It's not that I have all the knowledge, but I must be seeking and find ways to help him in the appropriate manner. And with that fulfill with a pipeline of time, uh, I hope to see a result. But then again, I would say no pressure. Just go from day to day and see the success. Like what Esther said uh, earlier, said even is a teacher would want to see how a student would achieve in the span of time. So with given time, I will do my very best as parent.
Yeah. I like that. Just taking one step as it comes. Don't stress on the biggest stuff. Look what is in front, and achieve it
Yeah.
and work it together and all that. It's really great. I would just like to invite our viewers and also welcome some of you who might just join us. If you have any comments or you have any questions that you need more information about what we are sharing today, please leave all your feedback on the comment section. Okay, we would love to hear some questions coming from all of you all. You can just share it who you want the target to which panelists, and we hope that we're able to help you all to give more information and give you more clearer picture about how, as a parent or even as an educator or from a counselor's point of view, how do they cope with having a special need child in the family. And so I would just like to ask, just sharing from Esther, what is any words of encouragement to parents with special needs?
Before that, I would like to comment on what Ed Stanley mentioned earlier. I mean, you have done a good job, like training your child in, your expectation for your child. For example, I love the example that you gave, like pouring. Just put a jug, give a jug to him and let him pour. And even that spillage, that is a skill achieved. And that small step is a great achievement to celebrate. See, it doesn't matter. The skill is he is able to pour independently. Whether that's spillage or not, that's fine. That is one skill. Then the next goal, it's something else. But don't stress out. He has done well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stanley, good job.
Okay.
Now, Stanley, you mentioned about how that God has been with you in this journey. Yes, indeed, you are not alone in this parenting journey. Yep. So as a parent, I know it's really hard, but we have to learn to let go and not be a helicopter parent all the while hovering around and wrapping the child up in the cotton wool. Learn to let go a bit. Learn to trust your teacher, your friends, your therapist, or whatever jobs they are able to do for the beneficial of your child, for the benefits of your child. And also for yourself as parents, my word of advice is to learn to get away and have some time for yourself together with your partner or your husband, your wife. I know it's really hard. That's why I said, don't be a helicopter parent. Just go hovering around your child. My life is all about my special child. No, learn to get away, let go, and have some time for yourself with your spouse. And trust your child to a carer or someone who you can trust, so that you can have some me time or we time. All right, maybe you can have you can pay someone to come over and babysit for a couple of hours. Then you can go for a date night, a movie night, or have coffee. It's good to get yourself refreshed, recharge, and start the next day as a new day, beginning, a fresh start. Remember that as a parent, you are not doing it by yourself. It's God who is journeying this with you. And Give yourself a pat on the shoulder that you're doing a fantastic job in nurturing this special child.
Yes.
It's not easy. And always remember that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Whatever little steps, little achievement that is achieved, the goals that's achieved, it's a time to celebrate. Right?
Yeah.
So that's my advice for you parents.
It's fantastic. Celebrating the little things, right? The
Yeah.
little achievements. Yeah. Yeah. Dr.
That's right.
Pili, how about how about from your side? What would you like to encourage parents who are going through this situation?
I would say part of your schedule is to put in time for yourself. That means to be disciplined in giving time for yourself. And when you have the time for yourself, you do things that you like. It need not be long, it can be 15, 20 minutes every day to just have this me time, right? So that you are still in touch with yourself, you are still in touch with whatever news that you want to know. Yeah, because otherwise, once you get busy, it's non-stop. And then at the same time, if there's a lot of a guilt trip, if there's a lot of self-blame, perhaps one of the way to love yourself is to forgive yourself. It's really not your fault that your child is special. uh, so therefore, forgive yourself, let yourself go, and then move forward. Yeah, and move on. And definitely don't neglect the so-called big baby. Yeah, because he also needs your attention. This is for mother. Yeah, for wives. Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of time, their rationale is logic. Rationale is really logic. The special
Mm.
child needs my attention. He is so helpless, or she is so helpless. But my husband, you are so capable. You are earning. I think you can take care of yourselves, and that's how the relationship strain over time. And these are all very subtle. It doesn't happen overnight. Yeah, but we just have to be so mindful to check in with each other. Yeah, so it's so I'm so happy to hear Stanley that he's such an involved father. Yeah, that makes the job of the mother so easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank
So,
you.
so
And
importantly, viewers, remember, if you have a child, you have a special need child in the family, husband and wife relationship is very, very important, because
Mhm.
without either one of y'all, the whole unit doesn't work smoothly. So look into the relationship, spending time together, right, Dr. Peli? Make time for
Yes.
each other, even if it is
Yes.
half an hour, just to check on each other. How you
Yes.
doing? How was
Yes.
our boy with you today? How was girl with you? So just to keep check and keep track on each other. Okay,
Yes.
Stanley, maybe just
The
another sorry, yeah, Dr. Peli.
the weekly date night, try to keep it for the couple, as Esther says. Put it on the babysitter. You trust the babysitter, or trust your caregiver. Yeah, and then you go on a date with your husband.
Mm,
That's very, very important.
okay, that's great. So, Stanley, what is your word of encouragement to parents? I mean, you are like you are giving the back. You are giving the view of your side on when you are going through that journey. What would you like to encourage parents who have special
yeah. Thank you.
kids?
Uh, Being in this position, uh, because we are considered, you are actually having a very big assignment, and to do this role, uh, you must embrace God's peace, because I believe my strength doesn't only come from myself, but I also depend a lot on the God's strength to do it, because
Mm,
it's not easy, but uh, we need to seek help.
mm,
Children need special care. Children need to have early intervention.
mm,
They need to go for therapy, because this therapy involve speech and occupational therapy. These two will help to smoothen their process of work in progress, because
mm,
as much as I want my child to speak, he also must learn how to find his mouth, the muscle to move. But I don't learn this. I only learn it from my speech therapist, those who has more experience, expert in this area to guide us. And please do not leave your child at home, whether they are behaving differently, strangely. Please get help. Get your child diagnosed. See a special development doctor. Get advice from association that has link with the Autism Society of Malaysia, Malaysian Care. Please, parents, do not ignore or abandon children with special needs. Doesn't mean that they are stubborn, they are not talking, or they are being naughty. It's not that. Get them diagnosed so that they get the help at the early stages.
Yeah, I think early intervention is very important. So parents really need to keep an eye on the child. I like the word what Stanley said, don't leave them alone. You leave them alone, you come back home, the house will be in a disaster state. So we have a few questions coming in from our audience. I think we have a first question asking, how do I join this support group? So to join the support group, okay, in FGA we have what we call PSG, Parent Support Group for Special Needs Children. We will put in our comment link at the bottom, the person to get in touch with, and also they have a FB group, support group, which we will put a link there. Christina Ko, you asked this question. I hope that you will get into our comment and just look for the link that we will put it on later. Okay, and we also have the second question. Okay, how do parents find a baseline in terms of development, behavior, cognitive skills for their special need child? From Jason Ding. Esther, would you?
I think Stanley has spoken about that, right? Just now, Stanley, you shared about how bringing your child to the doctors for psychological assessment. You know, I think he has addressed that, and that is really good. I think we should, as a parent, if you find that there's something that's not right, my child has a, you know, has a slow developmental or delay or whatever, then go see a pediatrician. And from the pediatrician, they will recommend you to maybe go for a psychological assessment or whatever the assessment you have it in your country. And that's how you go. Because otherwise you think, oh, I think my child is just slow. Maybe he is like me. I learned to speak maybe at 3 years old. Normally, kids with autism, you are able to diagnose. They can be diagnosed around 3 years old if there's any sign. 2.5 to 3, I think 2 to 3. Consult a pediatrician if you are in doubt, and that's the best place to go to.
Can I just add on? Can also look for clinical psychologists that can do an assessment. Yeah, and in Malaysia, there's one place called Hills Learning that is in Mount Kiara. So you can also bring your child for a thorough assessment, and they will do a baseline check, and then they will give you this progress, what the child needs to achieve on a weekly, monthly basis, and they also have got day school, daycare school. Yeah. So let the expert do their job.
Yeah. So there are some private schools for autistic children, centers who can do diagnostic for children at a very young age. And I believe there's NGOs where there's the autistic association that's available. Stanley, right? Or there's some NGOs that's for those who can assist them. And so, any last words, Stanley? Would you like to share with our viewers?
I saw the other question by one parent. It's about what are the challenge facing by parents of special needs children in terms of I think it's in terms of finances, right? Finances is one area that is a credibility because if you can afford it, many therapy session, uh, at least your child has the attention and care. That's why you need to budget a certain amount for such therapies. Uh, and of course, being income earner, you also have to budget uh, where you can send your child to for early intervention, whether it's a half day or full day. Because for working parents, they can place their child there. For example, I'm using this center called Bliss Kids Educare in Puchong. That's where Ben has associated with many teachers there, and he became a very good example over there. So I find that he benefited a lot from this school. So this is some of the things to be prepared for, finances. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a very big topic to talk about, finances. Yeah, just having a special need child is not cheap to care for in Malaysia.
Yeah.
So we talked about it prior to this, was like even going for speech therapy in a private hospital costs between 180 to 200 ringgit for an hour session. So
Yeah.
what more? And also we are always looking at every year budget, whether there's always something special for OKU group. Yeah. So we always have to pray that if with the support group, you can have people to assist, or you never know how God works, where people can come in to assist and help the family in any way that they can. We are really we are having so much of time enjoying all these questions and sharing, right? But unfortunately, we don't have enough time to finish up everything within an hour. But I would like to open up to our panelists, okay? Is there anything else that you'd like to add from what we have shared today with our viewers? Any last so yes, Dr. Peli, yes.
Yeah. So from the previous question that was flashed, the one of the what is the greatest challenge? I think what that was not touched on. Another challenge, I think, is about information. You know,
Mm,
uh, parents of special need, they don't have enough information, and that's why it makes support groups so important, so that they
yeah.
can, understand what they are going through is normal. But I would
Mm,
say, in Malaysia, there's you can get yourself educated. There's this college in okay, it's called College of Allied Educators, where they have diploma or advanced diploma in special
mm,
needs education.
mm,
You can get the students there, either their parents of children with special needs, or their teacher who have got in touch with children with special needs. So you can also have a form of support group there, as you learn together, as you grow together. And also,
mm,
I have students who are studying. They say, they just love coming to class because that's my me time. That's where they will make arrangement with their husband to just take care of the children. That's me, relaxing, and they have their
mm,
enjoyment with their classmate, and that's where they laugh and to keep their sanity, so to speak. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
get yourself educated if need be.
yeah,
Otherwise, look up on the internet to understand what's your child's going through, and then look for the
yeah,
milestone, developmental milestone.
yeah,
You have to
yeah.
play this responsibility for yourself.
Yeah. Wow, that is such great information. And we are really running out of time right now. I'd like to thank all our three panelists for making time this afternoon and really giving so many information, golden nuggets here and there. Okay, so importantly, please get in touch. If you know anybody who has a special need child, or if you have one yourself and you're still not in a support group, please do get in touch with us in Family Life in FGA. We have a support group called Parenting Support Group for parents with special needs, and we hope that you will be able to be in touch. Even if you want to call up Family Life office, just pick up our number. Is contact Our contact number all will be at the comment section as well. And so before we move on, we're going to close this place. We're going to close this whole session up. Our next Heart Talk will be on the 22nd of November. And we're really looking forward to a new and interesting topic. And we just want to bid you farewell. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Dr. Paley and Stanley. We wish and pray for Stanley all the best. We hope to see Benedict one day and say you are doing a good job. And also, if you see Stanley in church, just give him a pat on the back and give him the encouragement. I think that's what they really need. Okay, just the support and say you're doing a good job. Thank you, everybody, and thank you to all our viewers out there. Thank you so much for spending time with us, and we see you soon on the 22nd of November. Bye. Thank you.